And welcome to the school committee meeting of Monday, February 10th. Will please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
With nothing under audience, we'll move to reports. No,
Acceptance of the minutes. I make a motion to accept the meeting minutes from January 27th to 2025.
Second.
All those in favor? Thank you. Now nothing under audience, on to reports. Monthly reports for the administrators, Ms. Shipper, Mr. McAllister, Ms. Shifley, and Ms. Sheehan. Guidance with Ms. Black, the nurse, Ms. Davis, and pupil personnel services with Dr. Maniglia.
I make a motion for 7 motions for the monthly reports listed.
7 seconds.
All those in favor? Thank you. And the school newsletters for Eston, Phelps, the middle school, and the high school. Any comments?
Just lots of good
No,
stuff.
they're just great.
Always exciting to be able to read what's going on. And now we'll go on to new business with Curriculum Corner for Rogers Middle School. Mr. McAllister.
Hi, good evening. I've asked Ms. Coburn to come up. She's going to walk you guys through our IXL program. As you guys probably know, we rely heavily on data to help drive our changes in curriculum and our teaching styles in the classroom. And previously, we were using iReady as our platform to gather that data and help to make those changes or foster those changes. We have since shifted to IXL, which was a move we made over the summer. And so teachers have been incorporating IXL, into their classroom, into their programs to help guide appropriate changes that needed to be made. One of the benefits of IXL is that it not only provides us with usable data for reading as well as in mathematics, but it also allows other departments to utilize data as well, whether it's world languages or history or science as well. And so Ms. Coburn has done a remarkable job of implementing that into her classroom and helping to give students an opportunity to kind of lead their own learning and help guide themselves towards proficiency in a number of skills that maybe they were deficient in coming into the year. And we've seen incredible growth already in those areas. And as I mentioned, Ms. Coburn is kind of at the forefront of all of this, so I thought she'd be a great person to bring up and kind of walk you guys through some of the things that we're doing and implementing in the classrooms and some of the things that we'd like to make building-wide, some initiatives that we can do building-wide to continue to help students grow. Ms. Coburn?
Hello.
Hi.
I have 2 students with me. I have Miss Aaliyah and Braylon with me, and we're going to hold some things and talk to you in a minute. Take this one. Take C-Ball. Thank you. All right. So I am just going to talk for a little bit. I'll try not to talk your ear off. My students know I like to talk a lot. About IXL and how we are using that in the classroom. So these are our mastery skill posters. So at the beginning of the school year, I really wanted to create a positive correlation with IXL in the students' minds, have it not be like, oh, here's another thing I have to do. So we are working in with some PBIS to try to find that intrinsic motivation to keep going and growing. So all of my classes are kind of competing with each other because I noticed my students this year like to compete with one another. So D block right now is in the lead. So every time that a student masters a skill on IXL, they color in one of those boxes, write their name in it, and then once they reach a designated spot with my handwriting in there, they have a goal block over here, it says prize box. They get to choose from a list of prizes. So that might look like some game time, some time for class outside. We might do donuts or pizza or popcorn. So right now, there is no homework assigned to them for IXL, this is all self-driven. So during Bulldog Block, they'll work on IXL, they'll go home, they'll do lessons, they'll come back and fill in boxes unprompted, which is wonderful. And as you can see on the C block, we have one student that likes to go home and complete about 9 lessons at night and come back and fill in the boxes in the morning. So they are very competitive, but I'm okay with it because they're learning. So they also have these in their folders. So they are tracking their own growth throughout the school year. So every one of my students has a folder with all of their assessments in it, and we have added their IXL scores to the inside. So this particular student on the presentation started with a 630. So IXL scores are really easy to follow. The first number is the grade level, and the 2 following numbers are how far into the grade level they're performing at currently. So the student started at a 630, so halfway through 6th grade are the skills that they could currently do at the beginning of the school year. And then at about a December timeframe, they moved to an 820. So they went from a 6th grade level to an 8th grade level in a matter of 3 or 4 months, which is incredible. So they're constantly analyzing their own growth. They're looking at their numbers. They're trying to figure out, is this number accurately reflecting my abilities? Do I need to try a little bit harder? Do I need to work on vocab or grammar? So it's really great to let them take the reins and focus on what they need to do for themselves. So I'm going to talk a little bit about some other things. You don't have to hold those anymore. Okay, so this is what the students see and what I can see. They can see how much they've grown throughout the school year, and it constantly keeps track of where their diagnostic level is. So every time they practice a skill on IXL, it updates their level in real time, which is really awesome. So this particular student, again, started around a 6th grade level in September, and now in January, they're almost approaching a 9th grade level, which is absolutely incredible. And the students whose charts look like this, they're using IXL consistently, and they're using it in a way that focuses on what they need as an individual rather than the entire class. So it's really been really helpful to pinpoint those learning gaps and tailor my instruction towards individual students. So specifically, my EL students are able to work on those foundational skills that they may have trouble with. And instead of taking time out of my normal class period, during Bulldog Block, I can say, work on your suggested lessons or your recommended lessons. So it's completely 100% tailored to them, and it's enforcing my instruction and driving my instruction. This particular student has made progress in 214 skills. You can see that in the bottom corner, which is incredible. And this student is working on things like the sounds that letters make when you blend them together. It's his first year in an English class, and he's already making so much growth. He's moved up a grade level. It's just phenomenal to see what is happening when they can spend time focusing on lessons that are made for them. And this is one more view that the students and myself can see. So they have a score for reading, vocab, writing, and grammar and mechanics. So when they click on those, IXL populates generated recommended lessons. So it's very individual, and I can bounce around the room and help them on those individual skills. One of the last things I'm going to talk about is how quickly I can gather data. So I made a quiz in about 5 minutes the other day. We had just finished doing a unit on arguments, and we did a mock trial, and it was real-life practice on how to formulate an argument. So I said, okay, I want to see if my students can transfer these skills that we practiced in our mock trial and utilize those skills by answering questions that use the same skills but in a different way. So when we're doing a mock trial, we're talking about counterclaims. We're talking about how to find evidence to support your argument as a lawyer. So can they transfer that skill into these written questions that are formulated almost like an MCAS question? So I made this quiz in 5 minutes. I just clicked the skill I wanted to assess, the level that I wanted to assess it at. I sent it out to the kids. they answered those questions, and then in real time with my students, I was able to look at the data and say, okay, most of you have a really strong grasp on argument skills. However, we all kind of struggled on counterclaims. This was your class. And then we had a conversation about, are we misinterpreting the question or do we not understand counterclaims? And then we came to the conclusion that we just didn't read the question correctly. So then I could, in real time, change my lesson, not on how do we identify counterclaims, but how do we take apart the question and figure out what it's asking, which was really awesome. So it's really quick data analysis in real time, and I can adapt my instruction very quickly. And it's not taking over my instruction, which is really awesome. It's not taking away from my time as a teacher. It's adding and it's supporting that instruction that's happening in class. If a student is struggling with a skill at a 7th grade level, in about 1 second, I can take that same skill and put it down 2 levels or maybe even up 1 level. So if they're struggling with a 7th grade level, matching the quotation with a theme, I can bump it down to a 5th grade level. We can start there, and then they can master that skill, and then we can work our way up to 7th grade. So no one is losing the instruction, the grade level instruction. I'm just able to differentiate very quickly. And it's saving me so much time, and it's giving me so much more information about my students, and it's just been really wonderful. And I'm going to stop talking so that my students can talk to you about their experience with IXL. So ladies, go ahead.
Go ahead, Ann.
I have gone from a 770 to 820. I am now able to do an 8th grade level skill. Vocabulary score has raised 2 grade levels from the start of the school year, and my writing test grades have improved. I am motivated to improve my grammar. Oh my God, I am motivated to complete IXL lessons because it helps me improve my grammar and writing skills while helping me practice what we are learning in class. I like IXL more than iReady because it accurately targets the topics and skills I need to work on while still being easy to navigate, and I've seen the biggest improvement.
I've gone from a 630 to an 820 score. I'm now able to do 8th grade skills, 2 grade levels in half of the year. My writing test scores are improving from an 87 to a 98. Vocabulary is now a 9th grade level. I am motivated to complete IXL lessons because I'm understanding more and accomplishing mastery levels in all of the things that I've been practicing. My experience with IXL is much better with iReady. It gives me the opportunity to see why I got the answers wrong and what I can do in the future to prevent making the same mistake more than once. iReady just gives you the opportunity to keep guessing the answers in random instead of telling you why you got them wrong or how to fix it.
So, something that I've seen from these guys in particular is that they are just really motivated to improve because of IXL, and the lessons are specific to their needs. So they don't feel like they're behind or in front of or, competing with their classmates because they're all doing something different. And recently we started prepping for MCAS. IXL has some suggested lessons that align with MCAS. So using that MCAS data from last year, I know that my students in the past have struggled with identifying the central idea of a text. So IXL has lessons that help them master that. And if they get a question wrong, then it gives them an explanation of what they got wrong. So then with the following question, they can improve. So I've had a really, really awesome experience with this. And even just today, I was watching my live IXL classroom during Bulldog Block, and students who weren't even in my classroom were practicing English IXLs in a different classroom during the second half of Bulldog, which was really just cool to see. So I'm really hoping that we can use this moving forward and in all classrooms. The data is just excellent. So I'll stop talking. Do you have any questions?
Do you have any?
No, I've never used this program. I have used iReady, which I liked, but
Yeah.
it sounds interesting.
I
I like the
love
intrinsic
it.
part of it.
Yeah.
You know, that you're motivated to learn. It's not just, it's not just forced upon you and you're expected to do this, this, and this.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
nice.
There's just a lot more information. So I used iReady my first year here, and I'm just there was a decent amount of information from iReady, but there's just so much more that I can use with iExcel. It's been wonderful.
I just want
Yeah.
to say, when it comes to assessments, people talk a lot about testing and data. And oftentimes, we go through so many exercises to test and collect data, but then the data doesn't really get used. And to me, using the data is, in its ultimate form, is the students using the data to inform them. So for example, I always use the example of your football player, and every time you go left, you get creamed. So you go to your coach, every time I go left, I get creamed. What am I going to do? And he says, go to the weight room, your left side's weak, work out, do this. But the student doesn't care about all, they just don't want to get creamed every time they go left. So this is you're putting it in the hands of your students, and it is motivating them.
Yeah.
Because they're seeing it, and who doesn't want to do better?
Right.
We all want to do better.
Yep.
So I think it's genius, and I'm really happy you've embraced it. And that cycle, you don't see it very often, but it's very cool. And I love the boards with the filling in. Those kinds of things they seem trite and they seem small, or they may even feel childish now and then, but trust me, as you become an adult, you come up with systems for how you get things done. And this fine person right here would not live without spreadsheets. I can tell you that right now. So anyway, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Very, very cool
Thank you.
presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Great job, girls.
Yeah, great
Come
job.
back anytime.
Thank you, Ms. McAllister. Now, imagine that with AI,
I know, right?
right?
And so
When
this is-
AI starts infusing in systems like that, then it's really going to have an incredible effect on student achievement.
And so this is just being used at the middle school currently?
Correct,
Okay.
yeah.
iReady's at the lower grade still?
Yes.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Very cool.
Very cool. And now we'll move on to the superintendent's report.
Thank you. I just wanted to say a quick shout out to Dave Taylor and the Rockland Highway Department. When the snow comes down, we remember and appreciate them. We appreciate them all year, but we especially appreciate them when it rains and freezes and slick. We do not own, the school department does not own the equipment that can handle that kind of work. We don't have the salt trucks to salt everything, so we really depend on cooperation, and the highway department's been awesome, so thank you, Dave Taylor and the Rockland Highway Department. We had 10 students and 2 chaperones, Julie Dorr and Sean Carney, an English teacher at the high school, who went to Quebec from Thursday until Sunday, and I guess the weather was pretty challenging, but they still had a great time. So that's all I have. Oh wait, actually I have one more thing, I'm sorry. I have to report a founding member of the Rockland Education Association, Jack McGrath, recently passed away. And his wife was Carol McGrath, who was principal of the Eston School when I first came. I got to work with her for a year before she retired. But our sympathies go out to Jack and Carol, and we want to thank Jack for his service to the Rockland community and to the Rockland Public Schools. And he was a very, very kind and generous man. So he will be missed. And that's all I have.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll go to my left. Jamie?
Well, originally I had nothing to say, but 4 more days till February school break, so just saying good luck to the students as they finish out the week, and to all the parents and family members, enjoy the time home with your students. And be healthy, and don't get sick from coming back. I just wanted to say kudos. I went to the Phelps Art Night. I got to talk to Sam Provenzano. I hope I said your name right, Sam. And Mike Guyette. The level of excitement there was it was amazing. And the kids were super, super excited. I got a lot of positive feedback as we walked through. Unfortunately, I did miss the musical part of it, but I heard from my neighbors that it was wonderful. And I'm looking forward to the Arts Festival in the spring.
but I miss that level of excitement, and the kids were so excited.
Yeah,
So,
they do. It's a
yeah.
big night for them.
And happy break. I hope everybody has a great week off and stays healthy too.
All right. I have two things. First, I should have started with you. So I won't go, you go. Do you have anything to add?
I do not.
You do not? Okay, sorry. I left you high and dry there. I have the Phelps Elementary School was one of the top 3 schools in Massachusetts who participated in Anton's and Jordan's Furniture Coats for Kids and Families Coat Drive. As a result, we will receive $1,500 from Jordan's Furniture towards recess and active play equipment for our school. Thank you for participating in the event. Not only did we help others in our community get a winter warm coat, we helped our school win funds for active play. And then this is what made me think of you. We had the polar plunge. Did you plunge? You did? Was it freezing? I mean, it was a freezing day.
Was it cold?
It was cold. I heard it was colder this year than last year. Is that true? Is that what you thought?
It
Yeah.
was the half day that started
Yeah.
snowing.
Correct.
So it
Yeah.
was a very
It was
snowy
very
day
polar.
for
Right.
kids to
It was
stand
very
on
polar.
It's very polar.
So this week, Student Council brought back the mobile polar plunge. Between online fundraising and cash donations, we were able to raise $1,338 for Special Olympics Massachusetts. So thank you to those students for being brave and taking the jump in the polar plunge. And that's all I have.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor? And that's a wrap. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.